So the acronym of our new master program is SDISCO, and SDISCO stands for the International Master in Sustainable Drug Discovery. So it is an application that we submitted to get funding by Europe. So this master is an Erasmus Mundus master. So that means that we submitted the proposal for this new master program and that it was ultimately approved and that we received funding for this master. So the main criteria for approval of our application were the relevance and the novelty of the program compared to similar academic offers. Then also the quality of the project design and the organization of the student mobility was an important factor, and also the quality of the research team. So as you can gather from the name of the master program, it's all about drug discovery, and I think most of you know that drug discovery is the challenging early phase in drug development, which of course requires knowledge and competencies and skills in many different scientific fields, but also other skills like creativity, teamwork, and so on. So you see that in the title of the master program, we have also the term sustainability. That was not only to raise our chances for approval of this application, but it's also because we really believe that there is a need to train new students in sustainable drug discovery. And so with sustainability, if we use that term, you obviously immediately think about environmental aspects of drugs, also influence of drugs on biodiversity, for example, and that are typical things that are now only considered in very late stages of drug development, sometimes even only after marketing of a drug. But we are convinced, and we were also informed by specialists in the field from industry, that sustainability will become more and more important also in the early phases of drug development. So, but with sustainability, we don't only mean environmental aspects and biodiversity, but also it can be related to, for example, green chemistry, but also lean discovery. So the use of data, artificial intelligence, computational tools to reduce the time from bench to bedside. Also, the cost efficiency of a drug can be put under the umbrella of sustainability. The fact that you try to tackle the root cause of a disease instead of the symptoms, it's also something sustainable. And also, of course, to consider the real medical needs of today. So, on the next slide, okay, that is what I already tried to say. So, of course, before we wrote this application, we gathered with people from industry and from competent authorities, and they really convinced us that there is a need to train a novel generation of pharmaceutical scientists that are prepared for sustainable drug discovery. So we also organized reflection panels where we discussed with people from the field about future-proof pharmaceutical scientists, and these people convinced us that there is really a need for a shift towards sustainable drug discovery to develop innovative medicines that are safe and sustainable by design, as we call it. So we are convinced. We did a kind of market analysis, if I can call it like that, and we are convinced that this is a unique program, the combination of sustainability and drug discovery in one program is unique. And also, like here on this slide, you see a credential from the WHO, who also supported us in this endeavor. So here on this slide, you see in short what the program is all about. So it's a 2-year program, a 2-year full-time master program, and it is organized by 4 different European universities. So besides our university in Ghent in Belgium, we have the University of Gdańsk in Poland, the University of Groningen in the Netherlands, and then also the University of Lille in France, who co-organized this program with us. So, of course, because it's a real master program, it also contains a master thesis, as I will show you in a minute. So the master thesis is organized in the last semester of this 2-year program. So students who successfully follow that program, they will receive a common master degree from all partner universities. And so the funding that we received from the European Commission will be mainly used for sponsoring talented students and to offer them scholarship and also money for living expenses. So we decided to work with limited number of students. So typically for the next cohort of students, because we only started last October with the first cohort. So next October we will start with the second cohort, and we foresee to accept on average 25 to 30 students, which allows us to organize small interactive classes and to work mainly with case-based learning. So this is the mobility structure of the program. So the first semester is organized by the University of Ghent here in Belgium, and preceding just the week before the start of the first semester, we also organize a summer school. So after the first semester, all the students then move for the second semester to the University of Gdańsk. I will show you the programs in these semesters in a minute. And then for the third semester, the students can choose between 2 universities, either the University of Lille or the University of Groningen. Yeah. And after that third semester, as I already mentioned, the fourth semester is devoted to the master thesis. And that thesis can be performed either at one of the participating universities, but we also have a lot of associated partners, which are typically companies or research organizations, which will also help us to accommodate students for the master thesis. I have a problem to move to the next. Okay, it's coming. Okay, so the week before we start the first semester, there will be a summer school. We already did it for the first cohort of students. We organized it at the end of September here in Ghent. And the idea of that summer school is a little bit to level the starting competencies of the different students, because I will show you in a minute that we accept students from different with different starting competencies, and that means that some of them will be more specialized in chemistry, others will more have a pharmacological background, and so we try to use that first week, that summer school, first to assess the basic knowledge of the students, and then to offer them a course on scientific communication, and then 2 additional modules that can be chosen from chemistry, biology, data handling, and translational medicine life cycle. So we first perform a kind of assessment of the incoming students, and then we propose 2 of these 4 modules to them related to their previous competencies. So of course we also take benefit of that first informal week to learn to know each other. And here you see a picture of the first cohort of students who brought a visit to the city of Ghent, and who also took a boat there to learn to know Ghent. So here you have an idea of the courses that are organized in the first semester. So there's a course on technologies that are typically used in drug discovery. And there are a number of courses on sustainability. There's a course on regulatory affairs of medicines. And each semester, so not only the first semester, but also the second and the third semester, give room for 1 elective course that can be chosen from all the courses that are organized by that university. So then the second semester in Gdańsk in Poland has some courses on green analytics, green chemistry, also a number of courses on computational methods in drug design. But you can watch that later. I will give you a link to the program so that you can read about the courses that are offered in detail. Then the third semester. So I told you that this is a semester where the students can choose to go either to Lille. And so these are the courses here that are offered by the University of Lille. So there's a number of courses on hit identification and hit validation, but also courses on drug discovery chemistry, and also courses on hit to lead development. So this is one possibility, to spend the third semester in Lille. The other possibility is to go to Groningen, where the courses are more focused on translational aspects, to go from bench to human. So you see here also courses on green chemistry. So that's a course given by Professor Poelarens that is not on synthetic chemistry, but on making molecules by manipulating organisms or manipulating enzymes. There are courses on, as you see here, from lead to patient, so translational aspects, courses on PK/PD. So a lot of choice here. So this is a slide that gives you an idea of the associated partners that participate to this program. So the role of the associated partners is, of course, to feed the program. So some of the people working in one of these organizations will be invited in our courses, will assist in the courses. But another main objective of these associated partners is to contribute and to offer spots to perform the master thesis. So the idea is that an important number of students will perform the master thesis abroad in a company with one of these associated partners. So, okay, I think I mentioned the most important things of that slide. So besides conventional lectures that will, as I already mentioned, will be mostly case-based, there will also be a number of excursions and practical sessions, of course. And so here you see that the master dissertation that we will present a number of topics to the students that they can choose from, topics offered by the associated partners or one of the collaborating universities. And so the selection, or I should say the presentation of the available topics will be done in April of the in the second semester in Gdansk, where the students organize a 2 days event. It's called the Disco Days, where they will invite some important plenary speakers of the field, and where we will also present all the possible topics for the master thesis. So one of the goals of our university here in Ghent, but I guess also goals of the other participating universities, is that, of course, education is based on excellent research. And I think this will definitely be the case in this master. I don't want to go through this slide, but you can see that all participating partners have important publications on sustainable drug discovery. So if I think all the people that will contribute to the teaching, they also have clear research experience in drug discovery and also in sustainable drug discovery. So you might wonder who can apply for this master. So I told you that the money that we received from the European Commission will be mainly spent to give scholarships to students. And so who is eligible to register for these scholarships, or also to register for the master per se? So that are bachelor or master students that have obtained a bachelor or master in one of the fields mentioned here. So, of course, pharmaceutical sciences, but also chemistry, biology, biochemistry, bioengineering, medicine, biomedical sciences. So all students that obtained a diploma, bachelor or master diploma, that contains a minimum of 180 ECTS credits are eligible to register for this master. A second condition to register for this master is that the students have demonstrated to have sufficient knowledge of the English language by presenting one of these well-known certificates. So I won't go through all the details of this slide, but it actually summarizes what you all need to apply. So we organized a way that students can register online for this master, and they have to upload a number of items like curriculum vitae, a letter of motivation, 2 reference letters from professors, for example, their transcripts of records, but all details can be found on our website. But it's important that you already gather all this information before you go to the online process, that you have it ready on your desktop to make the registration easier. Of course, we already know from the first cohort of students, but we already see it also today for the second generation of students, that there are much more students interested in registering for this master than we have places. I told you our goal is to allow 25 to 30 students for this master, and I think at this stage we already have around 300 applicants for the second cohort. So that means that we are forced to make a kind of selection, and so this selection happens in two stages. First, we take a look at all the documents that have been uploaded, the transcript of records of the students, their motivation letters. They all play a role in selecting a number of students that then will be invited for an interview. And how we did it last time, it worked very fine. So we proposed 3 scientific publications to the students. We give them these publications a few days or 1 week in advance, and they can select one publication to enter into discussion with the selection committee. So we organize this via Teams as we are communicating now. And so we immediately enter into discussion with the students about the publication that they selected. And we believe this is a very good way to select students. So, of course, students that performed well during that selection interview, but that are not within the first 25 or 30 students, they also will have the chance to register for this program. And these are the typical fees that are asked. So if you come from a program country, and the program countries are mentioned here, the tuition fee is 9,000 for 2 years, and that includes also insurance and accessibility to all the lectures and the events that will be organized. If you are from a partner country, so from another country not mentioned in this list, the tuition fee for the 2-year program is 18,000 euros. So, but of course, the students that are selected for a scholarship, they don't have to pay these tuition fees. So besides the tuition fees, the students that obtain a scholarship will also receive 1,400 euro per month during the 24 months, and that allows to pay for travel costs, visa costs, installation costs, house rent, and etc. Of course, it's interesting that students also look at possibilities in their own countries. If there are no organizations that support such registration fees, like in China, we have the CSC scholarships that can be used to register for such a master program. But each country or I guess a lot of countries have such possibilities to apply for sponsorship to follow a master program abroad. So it's important that students try to look for that themselves. So, of course, what are the expectations for the job market after obtaining such a master program? At this stage, we don't have any students left that passed the 2 years. So now we are with the first cohort of students. We will start the second semester very soon. But from our gatherings with people from industry and so on, we believe that the job chances for such master students will be quite high, because there is an urgent need for people with leadership skills in industry. The students will also have gained strategies for lifelong learning and so on. So I won't go through this whole slide, but we maximally prepare students to make them future-proof and to make them attractive for the job market. So these are the career prospects that we believe are of course relevant for this master's. We of course have the pharmaceutical industry, but also international and national organizations like The WWF is mentioned here, but also drug regulatory organizations like the EMA, the health industry, but also media, journalism, publishing industries might be important for these students, patient and social organizations, and so on. So we don't doubt that the students that roll out of this master program will be attractive for the job market. So here you see some impressions of the first cohort of students while they were doing some practical courses here at the University of Ghent. I should say I teach to both this group of students and also to our local students in the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences. And I should say that this is a very dynamic group, a very enthusiastic group. If you teach to them, they are very willing to participate to the course. It's very interactive, and that's also possible, of course, because this group is relatively small. So here's some more pictures, and that brings me to the end of this presentation. So I will stop